Today we're going to give a new overview. If you still need to know how to do imports and exports, see the previous. That hasn't changed. Just wanted to get an update of how some of this stuff has changed and looks. This is the new DM screen. I've changed it to where it's a little bit easier to see things instead of a bunch of tabs on tabs on tabs. For example, if you want to see the magic user saves, item saves, you just, it's sorted by the same way. It looks a little different, easier to sort through. When you mouse over it, it gives you the description in the tooltip. Some of them are pretty long. You can see the different matrix tables. There's the monster one, pretty large. Spell saves, combat, gaze eye attacks, Anyways, the tables are still sorted the same way. The charts are the ones that are different. Tables are the ones that you roll for, like a hit location if you want to use it. And it just generates your different hit locations. And all these are the same. The tables themselves hasn't changed, just where they look. Here's your generate treasure by the book, and then here's by type. And you'll notice in this window there is a new settings feature for initiative die size. I defaulted to 10 and an ascending sort of order. So it'll start at 1 and go to 10. You can change that initiative die size to whatever you want, and then if you want it to go from 10 to 1 or 10 to whatever, 10 down, you'd select descend. THACO mode will use a THACO table like 2E did. If you select that, there's a new table or a new chart in the matrix here, and this is the values that it will use. The level is the creature's hit die size 0, 1 minus 1, 1, 1 plus, and then 2, 3, 4 all the way up to 26. And basically, if something is a 10 hit die monster, it'll have 10 hit die, or 10 THACO, and that's what it would use if you do THACO mode. If you use a D20 mode, there's a base attack bonus matrix now, and similar thing. It goes, hit die here, and then this value is the base attack bonus value. So if they're level 10, they'll have plus 10 to their base attack. Level 9 plus 8, so on. We'll leave the defaults. You'll notice that there is an innkeeper tab, which we'll go over in a little bit. But for now, we're going to throw in just some axe beaks, some 5, and then add the encounter. You can see this window has changed pretty drastically, I guess. I moved the dice bag from the main window into here because it seems to be more useful here. Most of the time when you want to do dice rolls, you're on this window anyway, so that's the same. It's just where it's at, it's different. I've added ways that if the creature has an attack that you want to get rid of, you click this X, it'll ask you sure, boom, it'll delete it. If you want to add new ones, you can click this green one and it'll add more attacks. You can still right click and add as well. We're going to add one there, and then you see it, the name is other, and then we'll click X, we want to get rid of it, boom, it's gone. We added a new save option, so like if you need to make a save for a creature, like for example, if I want to save versus spells for this axe beak, I hit that and it'll tell you, oh, he failed, he rolled a 12 and needed a 16. If you want to do a save versus paralyzation, oh, he saved, he rolled a 13, needed a 13. And these values, the saves are based on the saves tables for monsters. You can look at that in the DM screen over here for saves. Oops, that's abilities. We want saves. Monster saves. And so there you go. Values up to 0 to 20, and those are based on their hit die. And so you can, that's what these values are determined from. And he saved versus polymorph. Rolled an 18, needed 14. Alright, and this is still here. If you right click on their, up here, you can change their name, add a tag. I'm not sure what you'd want, but I mean, if you need a tag, it'll show up here and it'll show up here. And you can see a new number here. It's just right now it's initiative of zeros because we haven't rolled initiative. We'll go down the bottom. We'll hit click roll initiative. Since we use 1 to 10, I think I have. Huh. But anyways, we'll roll initiative. You can see that this guy has a 1, 2, 5, 5, and 6, and the first one it selected was 1. If there was no initiative of 1, it will select the last one. So you'll need to pay attention to that. When you do next init, it'll go to the next creature with initiative. So if it's 2, it went to the first one with 2. If there's multiple with 2, it's only going to go to the first one. If you click next in it's going to increment it to 3, and so if there's multiples of 2s, it's not going to go to the next 2 and the next 2. You, for now, you'll need to select those. So like it'll go when we go to next in 3, there's nothing. 4, there's nothing. 5, it goes to the next one. Where do you see it? And you can see some new buttons on the sides. You can still, if you want to change their names, select them, click name change, Axe Beak. I'll just change his name to Axe Bob, Big Bob, and it'll change it for you. You can add the tag here. You can change their hit points. Like if you want to change his base hit point, his hit points to 25. You can set that, and you'll notice the heart changed and the bar changed. Armor, it changes the AC, it's the same. These two buttons, calm and peace. We'll go over here in a little bit after we add in some PCs. This is the dungeon block. We're going to start a room at 101. Let's just add several of them. You can see they're all here. And we're going to, let's see, we'll add X-Beak 3 through 5 to room 101. And we'll move Bob to 104 and the other one to 109. And so you can see all those, and then we'll just go back and add some more X-Beaks to the encounter. Actually, we'll add something different. We'll add these guys. Alright, those guys are there. These are the ones that are in the dungeon itself. You can select those. If you select a room now, you'll see this changes. You can add in a description for room 101, and the PC description, and then the GM description. You can also, if you select the room and right click it, you can edit the room name, like 101 pit. And that's just, I mean, they won't see it, but I'll just say a pit, and then the PC description wouldn't have anything about it, but we'll just put pit trap. So when you click on that room, you'll see the GM information tells you whatever it is you want to put in there, and the PC description, you can describe it however it is. This is similar to the box text stuff that's in the modules. You can also slide this bar around if you need to get to something different. But you can do this for any of these, and when you save it and save the dungeon and load it like this, we'll use the test. It saves all this information for you, so the next time you load it, that information is still there. Yeah. And let's see, you can move rooms around. So if you end up changing this to edit room name, we'll change it to 103B, and actually we'll change it to 101B for whatever reason. And then you want to move it to where it's at. Move it here. That way it's in order. You can slide the rooms around however you want. You know, you can move them there or whatever. They don't have to be in order. The room name is irrelevant to the order. It's how you place them, the order they appear. And some new buttons on the side. Additionally, here there's two, a fight and a clone. If you select creatures and then you click fight, it's going to move them from the dungeon room to the NPC encounter. It'll actually physically move them, so they won't be in those rooms anymore like that. And you can see they moved out of those rooms. Now, if you do select some and then hit the clone button, it's going to keep them in the room and just put a copy of them in the encounter. I do that because typically I have a room, and I'll edit the name and I'll call it random encounters, and then I'll just fill this room full of, you know, random encounters, creatures like ant giant. I'll put that one, and then we'll have an axe beak, and then an Arakoa. And then whenever I decide one of those is to be encountered, I'll just select it and I'll clone it into the encounter that we're having. That way you don't have to, you know, they're not removed from that room. You can keep using them if they encounter again. I'll generally put that there. Alrighty. These are the buttons are the same. Before, add a room, cut a room or a creature, whatever you have selected over here is going to be deleted when you hit that. So if you do that and then that, it's going to delete 103 and Axebeak. Reset will reset your room counter. Save will save it to file. It'll prompt you. Load will load it. And then these two we've already went over. So we're going to go back over here to the Innkeeper. You can see it's a very basic PC tracking. For now, eventually I want to get it as detailed as a character sheet, but for now I just want to be able to track very basic things that I need when I run a game. The creature, or the player's name, or not the player's, the character's name, the player's name, class, level, hit points, armor class, move rate, and those sort of things. The hit points is their maximum hit points. And all this information shows up over in the encounter when we add them. But let's see. We'll select these guys, and then I'm going to add. And when I add them, it's going to add all the ones I have selected. And then you can see it's selected. There, you can see their AC, their hit points, player, and then the character name, class, level, move, special attacks, defense, magic resist. And you can add states like you can on creatures, like if they get slowed or blind, you can add that here. And how many rounds you want it to be, we'll say 5 rounds, and this little spinner down here, and click add, and then it shows up now. Also, when you're in the add state, you can now add new states. Like for example, I don't have something, let's see, we'll just say blue, we'll call it blue. I don't have anything to add right now, but target is blue, and that's it. You'll see if you select another one, it'll show as the name will stay in there as blue, and when you don't have to add. If for whatever reason you've clicked the add button and you don't want to add anything, you can just click finished. And if you go back to the state, you'll see the blue is still there, and these are automatically saved when you log out of the program. But anyways, and that's tracked by rounds. As you do next in it, or next round, it'll knock a counter off of that and decrease it, and then when it expires, you'll get a pop-up. So we'll just do next round till that goes off. And you're noticing that this is changing. It's because the initiative is changing and it's auto-selecting the next one. But mainly we're just wanting to go until that expires. And you can see blind blind faded from the character Magic Hand Whisbro. Something else I've added, and it's mainly for me to keep track of who's attacking what. So like say X-Beak number 3 is attacking Magic Hand's Whisbro, you would click on him, click on the X-Beak, and then drag him on top of that. And you'll notice that it adds a new little drop down here for this particular monster, and it says he's fighting Magic Hand's Whisbro. Which, so you can go here, click on the do his attacks, and right now I have no connection between these actual attack rolls and telling you whether you hit that PC. I'm eventually going to add that. For now, you'll have to determine that manually. But if you did, you say, oh, he took 1 damage. You can either click here to get to him, or you can click here, and it'll load that guy. And you say, oh, he took 1 damage. Adjust his health, and it adjusts his health. Something else on the PC window that's different than the creature window is this log, and it tells you right now all it does is it just tracks the health adjusted, and it keeps track of this between sessions. I'm initially going to I need to add in a time stamp in there so you can know when that happened. And then same thing for the PCs. If you want Magic Hand's Whisbro to also be an attacking X-Beak number 3, you just drag his name on top of X-Beak and does the same. And I'll add him here. And if you want to have all 3 of these creatures attacking Bob the Fighter, you just drag all 3 of them on top of him, and boom, all 3 of them fighting. And if you want Bob to fight him, you drag him to him. Now, if you have PCs that can attack multiple, you'll have to, you'll have to just drag them to each target that they're going to be fighting. So now you can see Bob the Fighter's fighting these 2. And if you want to have X-Beak 5 also attacking him, you just drag them on top of there, and you can see it adds them. Whoever you drag them on top of, that's who they're fighting. And it keeps track of that between initiatives. So if you roll initiative, you'll notice how the things are changing, the orders, but the people they are fighting stays the same until you change that. There's 2 ways to change that. You can select the creatures or the players like this. On Windows, it's Control, then select to do multiples. And then if you click Calm, it's going to remove the fighting options for those that you have selected. So I'll click Calm, and you'll see that those 3 guys will lose their fighting. And I'll prompt you, are you sure? Yes. And so it cleared them all. Now if you just want to do a blanket reset, you click Peace, and boom, they're all reset to not fighting anybody. And I believe that covers most of the new features. One last thing, if you change his max hit points here, like we'll change Magic Hand's Whisbro's max hit points to 16 from 12, and you click OK, you'll see it changes to 16. Now we go back over here, and you click on Magic Hand Whisbro, and you can see his max hit points change to 16. These are the same as these. So whatever you change here is going to be changed to here. So that is so you don't save the party. The party is going to be saved per itself here. So whenever you make changes to their armor class or their max hit points, it'll change it to this listing here. Currently there's no current hit points field here, so when you add them back, they're going to go, when you add them to the party, they're going to be full hit points. And maybe that'll change in the future. For now, it's a very simple tool. It's just so that for me, I can look at them easily, see what their hit points, track their hit points, see what their AC is, and then track who's fighting what. As I advance the difficulty of the program, I'll make it to where it can do more detailed things like track when this guy attacks and he's fighting, say this guy. It will, so when I attacked him, it'll automatically determine whether I hit him or not based on I'm fighting this guy, that sort of thing. Right now it doesn't do that. But that should cover all the new layout's kind of different, but this everything as far as the rest of the tools is the same. If you have any questions, catch me on Dragon's Foot or ask me on the SourceForge for the program.